Hello and welcome to another special edition of the FPL Fan Show. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the best team for Game Week 1. My name's Conor.
My name's Callum.
And this is the show for you, the fans of Fantasy Premier League.
The deadline is creeping closer and we've decided to put our heads together to try and create a Game Week 1 squad. There's been a few disagreements along the way, but we've settled on 15 players.
It's time to pick our Game Week 1 squad.
There are a number of different strategies that you could take ahead of Game Week 1. So Conor, I'm going to put you on the spot, mate. Give the viewers some strategies that they could take for Game Week 1.
No pressure. Okay, I've got two strategies in mind here. So the first one, which is a little bit bold, like me, unfortunately, it's basically that you load up your team in Game Week 1 with the players who you think will do really well in that game week, and you're very open to the idea of wildcarding in Game Week 2, maybe even 3. Now, it's not something we usually do that, is it? Yeah. But I think with, circumstances the way they are, with kind of Man City blanking, Man United, Burnley, it does make sense. But the warning with it is that I think this season so many things could happen and we might need that wild card. So I actually think there's a better strategy which relies more on balance. And that strategy is to pick a team for Game Week 1 but leave money in the bank so you can kind of transfer in the Man United and Man City players in Game Week 2 and Game Week 3. So that's what I'm thinking. I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I agree. I think with everything going on, nobody can predict what is happening. No. And I think having such an important chip like the wild card, it's just going to give you that flexibility in the future to just make them tough decisions. I see what you mean about almost having a free hit in Game Week 1 with the squad, but I think if you can hold that wild card longer, there's going to be plenty of benefits in the long term. So for our squad, we have gone for the strategy of holding our wild card for a little bit later on in the season. So we've kept some money in the bank to afford those big hitters from Man United and Man City. And in terms of formation, we've gone for a 4-4-2. That really does cater towards the midfield and forward options that FPL provided this season.
It's time to pick the goalkeepers. We think the goalkeeper area is where you should be saving some money. So we've gone for Alex McCarthy from Southampton at 4.5 million. Now, Southampton, since the restart last season, they were pretty good, weren't they, defensively? I mean, not for a team like that, I think 3 clean sheets in the last couple of 9 games. So that's pretty good value. The key here is that they've got good fixtures, even in the long term. So there's nothing that stands out as really bad. So, good. Alex McCarthy is a solid pick in goal. Who's going to be the backup goalkeeper? Yeah,
I really like McCarthy. As we mentioned, you don't need to spend loads on goalkeepers, and you just want the ones that you can just set and forget. So 4 million backup, Nyland at Aston Villa is the one we're looking at. You're not going to be expecting anything major from these goalkeepers, but it's just there to back up McCarthy in the worst case scenario. You're not going to find a goalkeeper 4 million who's going to be playing for their club, are you? So Nyland at Aston Villa is going to be our backup goalkeeper.
Our first defender is none other than Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, 7.5 million is an absolute steal.
What were they thinking? Thank you very much for taking that.
I just don't think you can go without him. Free kicks, corners, assists. He is a machine. So he's going to be locked into our team. What's your thoughts on?
I think it's just silly. I think a lot of people have been talking about possibly saving a bit of money and go with Robertson. The way I look at it is Trent you hold all season unless injury, and it's more of a case of getting Trent and Robbo rather than trying to get Robbo over Trent. So I think Trent is just an absolute lock, isn't he? We spoke about Vinagre in our player price video, and he's just a defender that offers great value into the Wolves defence. 4.5 million in a team that consistently keeps clean sheets. I think that's a great steal, really.
He's a beauty, isn't he?
One thing I will say is Johnny's injury looks like it's going to keep him out to 2021. So just have an eye on that in case he does come back a little earlier than expected. But, Vinagre seems like a great pick, doesn't he?
He's great. I love the Wolves defence. I think they're so solid, and with Bolly back there, you can rely on them. So, Vinagre is a great pick.
So we're going to continue the theme of 4.5 million defenders and pick Leicester's Justin. So he broke into the team last season off the back of Pereira's injury. And we think away at West Brom at the start of the season is a great fixture for Game Week 1. Now, 4.5 million for Justin in Leicester defence. One thing I will say is obviously the injuries to Evan and Chilwell now going to Chelsea might weaken them defensively, but I still think they've got plenty at West Brom.
It's a difficult one, this actual pick, because I don't trust the Leicester defence. But that said, they did do quite well in the first half of last season with Sonko at the back. And the thing with Justin is he does have a little bit of attacking potential, and I think that's what makes him a good pick. So 4.5 can't really go too wrong.
The long-term fixtures look okay, don't
they? They do. So good pick overall. Our fourth spot goes to Arsenal's Saliba. Now, this is interesting because Arteta's really got them playing well defensively, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got them going.
Yeah, and this kid is actually really highly rated. He's quite composed. You know, he can play out, you know, well from the back. And obviously, Arsenal also looking at signing another centre back, Gabriel.
Yeah,
so
of course. Yeah.
they should be pretty solid this year. And 4.5 million, if he's a starter, I think that's a great pick. You know, really good 2 first fixtures, so can't really go wrong there, can you? So I like Saliba. What do you think? about him?
I think it's a bit of a risk there. Obviously, knowing whether he's going to start or not. I think it's really important to keep an eye on pre-season fixtures and press conferences. But 4.5 million, if you can get an Arsenal defence which is improving, then he could be a great pick long term. So our original 5th place in defence was going to go to Crystal Palace's Ferguson. Twitter, he was the dream man, the next Lundstrom. But them dreams were dashed with this knee injury. Yeah. So I'm not going to lie, we've scrolled through FPL. We've been trying to search for 4 million defenders.
Even Callum's nan's been looking at who to get.
We've stumbled across a man who could be a hidden gem, and that's West Ham's Ben Johnson. Now, I can't lie, I don't know too much about him, but the fans do say that he has a potential to break into this defence. Yeah. We do know that the fixtures aren't the best, but 4 million, you're not looking to rip up trees over this defender. But
we don't really know who to pick, so let's hope it's a good one.
Yeah. Midfielders have been the big talking point since the player price drop, so it's been so tough to pick a midfield for game week 1. So Conor, who's got our first spot?
I think it's only right, Callum, that we put in the Egyptian king, Mo Salah. I mean, price the same as Mane. There's not really too much competition there, is there? I think the penalties that Salah has, the selfishness, just the history that he has, just makes him a great FPL asset and a great captain kind of going forward. So Salah's a lock for our team, I think. Do you agree?
Yeah. We've mentioned in previous videos about the Salah-Mane comparison, and I think Salah does nick it there. As you mentioned, you want a player at that price bracket you can trust the captaincy on. Home to Leeds, I think that's a great option there, and I think you can confidently put it on there for sure. So Salah's the first pick in that midfield. So our next pick is Aubameyang. So another premium player to go alongside Salah. Big chunk of the budget. But as we mentioned, midfielders look where the value is. And I think away at Fulham for the first fixture looks a great opportunity for Aubameyang to get on the score sheet, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does, yeah. I think he's a great option. Obviously, he's a midfielder now, so he gets an extra point for a goal. Like I said, he is a very good captain option. In that, I think he could get a few goals. And traditionally, he does score well against the lower end sides.
Yeah, he does very well.
Yeah. And one other important factor is, you can easily move Aubameyang to De Bruyne in game week 3. The fixtures work really well, mixing with each other. So, yeah, Aubameyang is locked in. Callum, who is our third pick?
Right, so I've been trying to fly the Chelsea flag high here. I've been offering Pulisic. You shot that down quick. Ziyech.
I don't think he's going to adapt well. I think he hasn't played in like 5 months, and I'm just not sure he's going to adapt quickly to the league.
Didn't watch in Champions League, but whatever. No, whatever. Okay, so we'll replay this clip when Ziyech scores a hat-trick in the first game.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're going to move on from the Chelsea boys in midfield, and we're going to look at Tottenham's Son. So 9 million. A lot has been spoken about the Spurs fixtures long term. A lot of talk about Kane, but I think Son at 9 million offers great value. In that first fixture against your beloved side, Everton, I think Spurs are going to have too much for them, mate.
I don't know what you're going on about. No, the reason why I really like Son, and you'll see in our team, is that he allowed, with 1.5 million in the bank, you can then upgrade to Fernandes. So you're kind of like a cash cow waiting, for the upgrade. So, and traditionally, coming in off the left, Everton tend to struggle against Tottenham. I hate to say it. So, I think he's a really good option going into game week 1.
Son's got our third spot?
Yeah, he's our third spot.
Right, so this is a tough act to follow. Those 3 midfielders, Salah, Aubameyang, Son.
Got more money than Donald Trump, haven't we?
Don't mention that, guys. Jesus Christ. Anyway, who's going to be that 4th midfielder following them through?
Okay, so some people are saying the fixtures are awful, and yes, they are, but we have gone for Souček of West Ham. Right, I really like Souček as a pick, and I did kind of want St. Maximin, and I think he's great value, but we've gone for Souček for that extra bit of value.
Yeah.
Now, what I really like about him is he gets in the box. Yes, he's a defensive midfielder, but he will push in, he'll score goals, and I don't think the hard fixtures matter so much for him. So, I think he's kind of a budget enabler, isn't he?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have mentioned about him being almost like a Fellaini character under David Moyes, and as you mentioned, with them tough fixtures, you are thinking that West Ham are going to be opting for more set pieces, them sort of aerial threats, and that's probably where he's coming into his own there. So, as you mentioned, really tough fixtures, but that first game, home to Newcastle, looks a really good pick, and as you mentioned, it opens up the midfield options at 5 million. really good value. So yeah, 4th pick's going to go to Souček.
Callum, would you be so kind as to tell our lovely listeners who our final pick is? And I have to say, I've been waiting for this all day. How are you going to talk about this guy? I don't know.
Yeah, you stitched me up. So you give me the 4 million defender, and now you give me a 4.5 million midfielder, and you know how bad these selections are. So, you know, I was going to put out there, Brighton Stevens is going to get the shirt. Now, I can't really promote what he's going to do. He's going to run around the pitch week in, week out. He's going to kick the ball to the better players, the Lalanas, but really... 4.5 million Stevens. He's going to get you 2 points each week. I just say move on, really.
Move on.
Right, things are getting very exciting now. It's time to pick the forwards in our FPL squad.
Yeah. So some people have said, you know, there's not that much value in the forwards. I disagree. Okay, I think there's some really nice options this year who are quite well priced. So the first one I've gone for is Timo Werner. Okay. Now, I know you're the Chelsea fan, but I love this guy.
Hey, I wanted the midfielders, I'll take Werner.
Yeah,
100%.
I think he's fantastic. You know, I know a few people have been like, don't know how he's going to adapt. Like, he's playing in the Bundesliga, a very, very, very good league. You know, his goal record was so good. I think I mean, you can tell us more, but I think he's going to play at the top of that kind of Chelsea diamond. And with all those attacking players he's got behind him, I can only see goals. 9.5 million. That is very cheap for a player like that. So I think Timo Werner's a fantastic pick.
Yeah. I'm going to take my Chelsea head off just for 2 seconds here. I'm going to dress it as an FPL manager. So if he takes these stats in Bundesliga, he's going to be an absolute steal at 9.5 million. But what we'll see is, we're going to be expecting him to play at that top. Unless Pulisic is out injured, then he could play on the left. But, you know, if things are going struggling in that first game, then he's got Giroud and Abraham to call upon. So, you know, minutes might be an issue, but I just think, you know, sometimes FPL gives you some gems that are too hard to pass up on, and Werner looks like one of those. So I just think it's a great steal there. So Werner's going to be that first forward role. Yeah, so obviously, as we mentioned, there's a slight risk in terms of Werner if you're worried about a new player. But one thing that was guaranteed last season with Danny Ings and goals. Now, obviously, priced a bit better last season, coming in this year a bit heftier, but I think he justifies the price, really.
He does.
In a Southampton side, which I think looks really good this season. They really improved. Well, I don't think necessarily improved, just in the lockdown, just looked a really, really strong attacking side. So I think Ings is a great option. Yeah. And still great value at that price.
Yeah. There's 2 things I want to say here. Okay, the first one is I've seen a few people putting Che Adams into their team. Right, don't be a nutter and don't do that. Yeah, I get he's cheaper, but he's not Danny Ings. That does not mean he's going to score those goals.
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
Just pick Danny Ings. I think he's such good value. You know, penalties. He's so clinical. Yeah. I think the second thing I say is I also quite like Raul Jimenez. I think the same price, you know, you could make an argument for him. Penalties as well, very consistent.
And no Europa League as well.
Yeah, which is, I think, a really big one. But I think in the end, I think Danny Ings with the nice fixtures, a kind of consistent record, I think that's what swings it for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, good pick.
So for our last forward spot, we think we found a little bit of a hidden gem here, don't we? And that's going to be Liverpool's Ryan Brewster. So 4.5 million. In pre-season has done really well scoring goals, but as you know, we don't expect him to start in this Liverpool side. What we do know is that there's a potential loan move going on, and the club are looking for a Premier League team for him to go into. You know, we're expecting a bottom half side. Yeah, you know, potential there for him to be playing.
I haven't even seen Sheffield United linked. If he goes there, I think that'd be a fantastic move. Yeah, Brewster 4.5 million should be your forward. I think he's such a fantastic option. You know, if he's starting 4.5 million, you cannot go wrong. I mean, the kid looks a real talent as well.
Yeah, so. he looks so good. As I said, I don't think he'll be starting for Liverpool, but if he gets that move, he can be a great pick. So Brewster's going to be a last pick in our squad.
I think that is a very good team there, Callum. So should we lock them in?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think I'm confident on this 15. They're going to do us proud.
Okay. So first up in goal, we've got McCarthy and Nyland. In defence, we've gone for Alexander-Arnold, Vinagre, Justin, Johnson and Saliba. In midfield, we've got Salah, Aubameyang, Son, Souček and Stevens. Up front, we've got Timo Werner, Danny Ings and Ryan Brewster. So that is our transfers done. Now it's time to pick our starting 11.
Yeah, it's a big bet.
It is a big question.
You sure we don't want Stevens centre mid?
I don't think so.
Sure, I
don't think so. I'm going to take Johnson out.
Okay.
And put Saliba in. I think Fulham away. That's a pretty good fixture if he starts.
Yeah, as you mentioned, keeping on the pre-season fixtures. I think he's a solid pick.
I think Brewster first on the bench.
Yeah. If he gets that low move, he could really pushing the starting 11 maybe.
Actually, very true. Yeah, very true. And obviously the key here is, you've got Son. There's 1.5 million in the bank in our team, so it's very easy for us to move Son to Fernandes in Gaming 2, which I think is what we're planning to do, isn't it?
Watch Son get a hat-trick now.
Yeah, I know. Well, I hope not.
Yeah, I know, that'll be tough.
The next question is, who are we going to captain?
Yeah, so I think there's 2 picks inside. There's some real good differentials in Werner and Ings, but Salah and Aubameyang just seem like the clear cut. Yeah. So I think looking at the home fixture for Salah, I'm personally swaying towards Salah.
Yeah, I think so. Just he seems a boring pick, but his trusted record. I mean, Aubameyang's picture is very good. Yeah, but there's something about that Salah game against Leeds. I think just Liverpool going to come flying up the blocks.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll put it on Salah.
Yeah, and then we'll put the voice on Aubameyang as mentioned. I'm not sure what Arsenal will turn up, but I think he's a solid vice captaincy for sure.
Yeah, really like Aubameyang as a vice. So that's our team locked in. Now, I'm just going to check. Are you sure you don't want to put yourself, Nacho Monreal, in the team?
You know I would, mate. If I was still marauding in that field in the Premier League, I'll be right in there. But I'm happy with this 15 for sure.
It's a good 11.
So that brings an end to our Game Week 1 Best Team episode. Now, I'm sure you guys think that we've missed out some big players in our squad. So let us know in the comments who should have made our team.
There were so many players I wanted to pick.
Tough, wasn't it? Really tough.
It did take us a while. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the show today and you haven't already, please do like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, because you're not going to want to miss anything that us two geniuses are saying.
So much FPL knowledge, we're going to help you get a good rank. So thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.